Welcome back. So, not much going on the sun tonight. In fact, there's more important things to report on tonight. So, we're here at the GFS model, and it's starting here January 4th. We're here at January 4th, and here's our opening frame. And I'm just going to let this play, and I want you to watch Northern California in this California area as these storms move in. There's one. There's two. There's three. That's a big one. Four. There's a good break right there. Then here comes another one. Five. Six. Kind of all just day in, day out through there. Another big barrage. And then the final one moving through from the north. So let's just back this up a little bit. We'll go one at a time here. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in right now on the west coast because that's what I'm most concerned about. A lot of these actually bypass a lot of the country. There's a few tornado alley incidents in this, but for right now I just want to focus on the west coast because this is a warning going out to the people in California, Northern California and everything, because I feel that our news is not covering this adequately enough. So here we are. That's currently at this moment as this storm moves in through Northern California and the Sierra Nevadas. Okay, that one moves through. Okay, then we got another one here moving in. And then another one here. That's a big one. See all this yellow and stuff in here? This is really intense. A lot of moisture in that one too. Okay, then another barrage. Then there's a good break right there. And then in comes another barrage to California, Northern California. Another one. And even more. Okay, here's another band right there. Boom, hitting the Sierras and Northern California again. And then this final one right here moving through from the north. Okay, so you saw that zoomed in. Now I want to zoom out a little bit because now we're going to go through the dates here. And let's go to the next one. All right. So here we are, January 4th. Our first storm here moving through. This is now January 5th, moving out on January 6th. There's a break on January 6th. And let me pull back just a little bit. My bad. I was trying to get the date in here. Here's our date up here. So we're at January 7th right now, okay? And then we'll continue here. And then here's another storm on January 7th. Moving through. That's a good one. A lot of moisture in it. Then here we are on the 8th. Another one moving through. And the now this is turning into the 9th here. That's the 10th now. Now here's January 11th. Possible break here for you people in Northern California to get out, get to the store, get supplies and stuff on January 11th. And then as January 12th closes in here, we got another one moving in. This one will actually come in around the 13th, it shows. With more on the 14th. More on the 15th. And here's the 16th. Little break there, 16th maybe. And then here's the 17th. Another good one with a lot of moisture in it there. Okay, a little break on the 18th. Then here's the 19th with this last one dropping in from the north. And that's about the 20th. That's the end of it. Now that we saw that, I'm going to pull up a different little thing here. This is going to be our total accumulated precipitation over this 16-day period now. So All right. Here, whoops, let me back up a little bit. We'll go take this frame by frame here. And real quick, before we start doing this, I want you to look over here at the legend, this little color scale. The yellows up here at the top are 20 inches and 24 inches and plus. Okay, so when you start seeing this brown is 14 to 16 inches, then it turns yellow in the 16 to 20 and 24. So remember this little color band right here. Now, as we progress through this, I want you to watch the west coast here, and I'm going to zoom in again for you. Move this out of the way. Okay, here we go. So, this is our first storm coming in. Then there's a second one coming right here behind it. All right. We're already starting to see these yellows and these oranges up here in Northern California, along the coast right here. And that is, let me look at this date. That is by January 9th. Okay, you guys? Today will be, or tomorrow morning will be the 5th. So in about 4 days' time, Northern California is going to have around 20 inches of precipitation. If it's not snow, it'll be in the form of rain. Okay, and that's already by January 9th. Now we're going to keep progressing through this, okay? I'm going to zoom back into this now again, and we're going to keep progressing through this. Now watch as this yellow continues to spread as these storms come in one after another. Now this part right here is already maxed out. It is yellow. So any other storms that keep coming in are adding to this. This has finally reached its maximum. It's not going to go turn into white or another color now. So we're getting more rain on top of what it's already showing 20 plus inches. Okay, and this is the final frame, and by January 20th, look how much of Northern California is totally socked in with 20 plus inches, 24 plus inches of precipitation. Whoops, my bad. Get this out of the way. Scroll back down. There we go. So all of this area here in Northern California, we're looking at 20 plus inches of rain. That's a lot of water. Over here on the coast, just the very corner of Oregon, and up here in BC, it looks like they might get a little bit too. Have a big heavy event. And we're expecting high winds with these storms, so there's going to be a lot of power outages. There's going to be a lot of flooding. And if you live in this area in Northern California and you have a second place to go, you got some friends you could visit in another state, I would suggest getting out of this area right here if you can. People that are in the Sierras, you might be snowbound here because this is going to be multiple feet burying people in the snow. Then, what else was I going to say? Oh, so this whole chunk right here, this whole upper area of Northern California is going to be flooding, and it's going to be, 2 feet of water, 2 feet plus, because it doesn't go higher than yellow, and we saw it was already at yellow when there were still storms yet to come in. So I'm fearing that we're going to have some severe flooding here in Northern California. I know Sacramento had a levee breach and it already flooded that area. And even the Central Valley here, this area is still getting a lot of rain. Even though it's not in the yellow, it's still a lot of rain. So California expecting mudslides, rock falls. There's going to be flooding. There's going to be, travel problems over the Sierras. It's going to be crazy. Then something else I want to point out here is I'll pan back a little bit and I'll go back to the other version of this, because right here at these last few frames, let's back it up here. This last storm, this is the very last one in that series. As it drops down, it's coming from up here, coming down. It's a cold air mass. You can see all these blue little lines right here. This is a huge cold air mass that's going to be going over Northern California here a little bit. We might have an incident where we have a bunch of standing water from a flood that freezes solid. So there might be some kind of incident here in Northern California with towns flooding from overflowing rivers, and that the flooded towns then freeze when this last storm moves through. So that's what this instrument is kind of showing to me. That's what I'm seeing happening here in this projection. And this is the, GFS model. It's not 100% correct. I pray to God that it's wrong. This time I really pray to God that this thing is wrong, but I don't think it is, because it's been very accurate, especially with these previous storms that have just come through, just as this thing predicted. So as we back up here, you'll see here's Northern California just over and over and over and over getting slammed. So let me put this back into motion, and we'll zoom in on it a little bit. Put it. There we go. I'll let you watch that for just a minute. And I know a lot of you people don't live on the West Coast, so you got your segment of the country you want to look at. Something else, as these storms move across the country, usually they would just wreak chaos. Here's a little event right here that we're probably going to have from one of them. But you'll see, as a lot of these come across, here's another small event here in the south. But a lot of these combine together off the coast here. Here's a small one that you might see here in this area, folks, for the south. But you guys are getting lucky that these things aren't just doing those polar dip things that we had earlier, just a few weeks ago. And you can see we're going to have some tornado activity in here from a couple of these. Right there's one. But for right now, I'm just concerned about the West Coast, Northern California, this corner of Oregon. There's going to be a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of snow. It's just going to be a mess. And then with that last cold front dipping down and coming through, and I have a feeling it's going to take everything and just freeze it solid. So whatever snow isn't off the streets by the time all this is over is going to freeze solid and just be a nightmare. So if I were you and you lived in this area, I'd get out of there and just go visit someplace else for a while. Or go to Arizona where it's going to be nice, or down here in New Mexico, or I don't know, even go to Hawaii or something like that for a vacation and get away from all this, because this is going to be nasty, you guys. And I'm just going to keep an eye on this instrument for you. Like I watched the sun, I'm watching this thing too, because we had this eruption off the sun that's due to correlate with one of these storms coming in, and we have found that activity on the sun has a tendency to intensify storms. We've witnessed that with these hurricanes, so I have a feeling that it's also intensifying our winter storms as well, and we're seeing the effects of it now. When you see storm after storm after storm, California's been in a drought for a while. We haven't had, a lot of precipitation like this in a long time. So this is going to be a big, big winter. And this is only the first couple weeks of January. If we stay in this kind of flow pattern that we have here, and we continue going on, week in, week out with storm after storm after storm like that, the infrastructure won't be able to handle it. People will be gridlocked, stuck at home, roads will be shut down. It'll be a nightmare. Then let's just do one last thing here I wanted to do. Well, we got to zoom out. There it is. So let's zoom out here. I'm going to go to one more little thing. Where to go? Total snowfall. Yeah, total snowfall now. Okay. Pass this one, please. Uh-oh, come on, computer. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you. All right, here we go. Watch the West Coast again here. This white band right here on the Sierras is 48 inches or more. So that's 4 feet of snow or more in this area, and it doesn't change any other color. So we're looking multiple feet in the Sierra up by Mount Shasta in this area up here. So Nevada's going to get some snow. Utah's going to get some snow. The Sierras are just going to get blasted right here. There might be 20 to 30, upward of 50 feet of snow. I have no idea, but it's looking pretty crazy for the Sierras right there. And anybody that lives up at like Tahoe, prepare to be snowbound for a while, because this thing's showing like 24, 26, 29, 29. Yeah, about 29, and that ain't inches, folks, because it already. Let me just back out of this real quick so you can see the legend. Where'd my little thing go? There it is. Let's go over to this legend over here. I'll zoom into it real quick so you can see the color scheme that they're talking about here. When you're seeing the purples right here, you're looking at 24 to 32 inches of snow, okay? When you see all this, you're looking at 24 to 32 inches of snow, you guys, all through this area. Boom, 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 boom. Then when you start seeing grays, we're into 36 and 48. 36, 48 being white. And then over here, here we are, the greens, the whites, the grays, all the purples. So Nevada's going to get hit pretty good. Utah, all Colorado, Idaho, all the west is just going to get slammed, especially this area right here in Northern California. And it doesn't show much going into the Central Valley, but we all know that it's still going to rain in the Central Valley, so that valley is going to be getting flooded. So you people that live in the Central Valley that are going to have runoff from these storms, I would clear out, your creeks, your drainage ditches, get your water flowing systems going good, your drainage systems cleared, all that, and get prepared for, mass flooding. And let's just back out of this one more time and go over to the other where to go? Total accumulation of precipitation. That's this one. And we're going to play it again so you guys can watch how quickly and how much it builds over California. 24 being the yellow, the very top of this. And then I want you one last time here. We're going to go in on California and just watch how it gets inundated here. All right, restarting. That's starting from today, and this is the next 16 days. So an emergency GFS report right here because of Northern California and the Sierras, and up here too in British Columbia. All you guys are going to be experiencing some flooding and some really, really nasty weather in the next 2 weeks. So that's about it for tonight. I love you all. I wanted to do something a little different. There's not much going on in the sun. There's a few blasts, but nothing too spectacular to report on. And this is so much more important because I feel that it's being neglected. So, and if anything changes, I'll be reporting on that as well. If it's for the good, I'll still report on it. If it's even worse, then unfortunately we'll have to report on that too. So, but for now, we got our hands full. You people in Northern California, you people that know people in Northern California, warn your families, warn your friends out here. Tell them, say, hey, this is no joke. This is time to, oops, dang it. It's time to get serious because it's coming. All right, well, we screwed up. That was it for tonight. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And until my next video, bye. Oh, there it is. Wait. Maybe not. One last second here. Let's see if we can roll this one more time. All right. There you go. I'll leave you with this. Looking at California and these series of storms that are coming in. There's a good break right there. That would probably be the time to shovel and dig out before these next rounds come. You know, if you're flooded, you know, pump out your basement or whatever during that time. Or, you know, if you out of power, that might be your opportunity to, you know, go to the store and get gasoline or more candles or more supplies and stuff. So watch for the breaks in between these storms to take advantage of them if you need to get out and, you know, do your thing. And I think that's about it for tonight. Yeah. So that's it. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, bye.